is up, guys? Welcome back to Call Me Old Fashioned, where we talk everything bourbon, whiskey, and of course, old fashions. Today, we're going to be diving into Jack Daniels. Not just one, not just two, but like four. Not really. I'm not really going to drink the Jack 7, but we are going to talk about it a little bit, just for funsies, right? Just a chat about old Jack Daniels. So, again, welcome to the stream. Happy Friday. If you're just now tuning in, let me know what you're sipping on. We're going to dive into first impressions of the Jack Daniels Heritage Barrel for 2025, obviously the toasted. And then I went and picked up another single barrel proof rye. I couldn't stay away. And then, of course, on top of that, we do Jack Daniels bonded rye. Figure out if it's like, is the price jump worth it, or should, like, if you're on a budget, like, should you stick with this one? These are the questions I have. And then you have Jack 7, which we'll get into later. So, I'm dying. I was having all types of technical issues, but we're here. We're live. Everybody's freaking out. Calm down. Calm down. Alex says, here he is. Smoke symbol, drink symbol. All right, cool. Chris says, first, cheers. Call me old fashioned. Let's freaking go. Shelton says, do we drink here? We dabble. You know, from time to time, we test the waters. Now, I was debating on doing this after, but I figured we just go ahead and dive into this one first. So let's slide these over, right? Sling them over yonder. Pull up a Glen. I didn't open it, so the other one gave me some issues earlier. This one's gonna give me issues now. But like the way they put it on here, just life or death. I need a damn knife to open up a bottle. What is this world coming to? God damn. Should like this is the stuff that you don't see on the reviews of me just like dying opening these bottles. What the fuck is happening? There we go. There's the stream. Happy to have you. There it is. Bro, that is some of the strongest plastic on a bottle. Might as well put that in a sealed case. Again, so the Heritage Barrel. This is new. Obviously, I'm late. Right, I know a lot of people have had this. They've done reviews. I hear good things. I hear mixed reviews, honestly. But from the reviews, I also feel like it may be a little bit more up my alley. It's toasted, which you guys know I love that, especially with the holidays coming up. It's 100 proof. Mash bill in this is going to be 80% corn, 12% malted barley, and 8% rye. Just sounds like a good combo, you know? Just sounds good. But we'll dive in. I'll kind of give you a couple, you know, my first thoughts. I'll obviously break it down in a full review later on, but there's enough of those anyway, so check those out if you're dying for the answers now. RMZ says, good evening, everyone. RMZ, welcome to the stream, baby. This bottle opens up beautifully. So, like, before I even dive in, what I hear is it's super sweet. I hear it drinks slightly above the 100 proof. I would expect that for Jack. But other than that, like, it's supposed to be a shelfer, right? It's supposed to be something you'll be able to walk in, kind of get anytime. Not as lately, right? I see prices varying. MSRP is like right at $70. A lot of people are spending over. I don't know if you should do that yet, but we'll be the judge. Full Metal Chad says, hey man, just curious if you ever drink tequila. Not typically me, but my wife does. And I'll dabble. Right, I'll have a couple margaritas. If I do, the one I like to drink is the limited edition for Lalo's. It's a higher proof one. That one's actually really good, and I don't like. I did a review on it on here, surprisingly enough. So somebody said 6.7. Full Metal Chat says 70. Sheesh. Yeah, I know it's definitely a pricier one, right? For 100 proof. But curious. All right, let's dive into this one. I mean, it smells good. Right off the bat, like, you can definitely get the char, the little toasty notes on there. A little, like, caramel marshmallow vibes. I'm curious if it's going to have a chocolate note, because I wouldn't expect that. When I expect Jack Daniels, especially if it was, like, toasted, I'm expecting, like banana bread. You know what I mean? That's the kind of vibes I'm expecting, but, you know, obviously I've never had it, so. Good color on it. I don't know the age. I don't think it's going to tell me. Is it going to tell me? Bottling dates, July 18th, 2025. Entry in 7 years? Yeah, that's a little rough. It says 7-7. I think that's 17. Full Metal Chat says regular Jack is just so damn good for half the price. Way more than, or way less than half. But I have Jack 7 here too. Don't get me wrong. We got all different types of price ranges tonight. Gentleman's Jack, I don't even remember the last time I had that. I'm good with Old 7. There's nothing wrong with it. I've been drinking Jack 7 all week. Well, that sounds bad. Not all week. Just the days that there's a sports game in any part of the world. All right. Anyways, back to the nose. Just a quick little breakdown here. I'm getting vanilla for sure. Very vanilla. A lot of oak for toast vibes. A little graham cracker, marshmallow feeling. I couldn't wait. I went straight in. No announcement. Just dove right in. That was a good pour. That was fantastic. What does this remind me of? What do I have? Reminds me a lot of the Lucky 7. That's what it is. Give it a second. Let her warm up. Let her warm up. And then I'll... That was good. Maybe I'm just biased. I don't know. I do like Jack Daniels, but... This doesn't like necessarily hit you like a typical Jack. Guys, you're just now tuning in. Drop a like on the stream. Helps us grow out to others. Or don't. How about that? I'm half tempted to pull down the Lucky 7. This reminds me a lot of it. Kind of like towards the back end of it. It's sweet. It is really sweet. Anybody that's not like a fan of typically sweet whiskey, like, you know what I mean? Like this may not be up your alley, but I kind of think the same thing for almost all toasteds. I mean, it's nice. Got a nice little cream to it. The toast, the oak is more on the back end of the palate. Same thing with a little bit of that pepper that you would expect from Jack, that little spiciness, but not a lot of spice. It's very desserty. Very dessert. I will say though, I do agree. Like I think it drink. Am I having a stroke? What's happening? I think it drinks a little higher than 100 proof. I would, if I did it blind, I'd probably be guessing closer to like 1.8, right? 108. I like it though. Like, you know, kind of like as it like sits there a little bit, then it starts feeling a little bit more like Jack, right? A little bit of banana note on there, brown sugary, like caramelized brown sugar banana, slightly. A lot more toast and a lot more vanilla and caramel than anything, but it's there. I think that's what Christian was talking about. It opens up. I can bet the toast probably mellows down a little bit. The sweetness may kind of level out slightly, and maybe it opens up to a couple more of those traditional Jack flavors you would expect. But I mean, overall, first impressions, I'm not mad I spent the money. I definitely think, I mean, granted, I'd love everything to be cheaper. So, like, if I say something's good for the price, yes, I'd love it at half price too. But I think it was priced somewhat properly. I don't think you should be paying over that, especially if it really is going to be hitting the markets and the shelves like it's supposed to be a shelfer. But overall, one of the better toasteds that I've had. I think as we get more into like the fall, winter months, I'll definitely be wanting to do a blind with that, with all the other toasteds that I have and double oaks and things like that. I didn't get a chocolate note right away. I usually pick that out pretty quick. It's very strange for me to not pull out a chocolate note when it's toasted or double oak. So for that, I'll give it a kudos because I kind of like that. Poss in the chat says, "Hey mate, down in Aussie. I'm going to American Whiskey Show next week. Any brands that would likely be there should I look for and try? Jack Daniels should definitely be there. Woodford's would be there, so you want to try and grab Woodford's double oak. What else would be there? I would guess Buffalo Trace is there, and really you can't go wrong with anything that they have. Wild Turkey. Wild Turkey, maybe they'll have the 8-year there for you, or the 10-year, because I know that's an export. So maybe those. If they have any craft stuff, I always say gravitate towards that. I doubt things like Still Austin or New Rift or Redwood Empire is going to be there, but if they are, those are always good ones for me. But I've been on a Jack kick lately, so I would say Jack Daniels is my go-to right now. Christian says, yeah, those Jack banana bread notes come through after a couple weeks and the toast notes ramp up. Ramp up on the toast notes, huh? I think I would like that. A little bit more Jack banana would solidify it as like a Jack toasted. A little bit more toast, wouldn't be mad at. Not that I think it's under toasted. I like the heavy oak, heavy char. I like that stuff. So, David says, how do you feel about Canadian whiskey? I mean, I have a little nostalgic towards Crown Royal, but other than that, I really haven't had anything that I've liked. And I've had a handful of Canadian whiskey. I think Canadian whiskey got ruined for me by what is it called? Caribou Crossing. I thought it was absolutely disgusting. So I just didn't fit well with me. Some people like it, and I'm sure it's great as a mixer too. Like, don't get me wrong, it's drinkable. I would choose something else over it most times. So not really. It's too light for me. Not enough oomph. I like my whiskey to taste like whiskey. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on Canadian whiskey. Anyways, so I'll circle back to it because I think I'll definitely want to drink this again later on tonight. David says it's definitely different taste. It's definitely different for sure. It has some. I can't remember any off the top of my head. Crown Royal's like doesn't feel like normal whiskey. It just feels like Crown Royal. I'm not talking about the flavored stuff. Like flavored stuff's just straight mixers. Like, you know what I mean? Didn't you bunker Travelers? I mean, I have multiple Travelers. I thought Travelers was one of the better Canadian whiskeys, granted, but it's also a blend, so it has some other stuff in there. I do not like Travelers still, right? I understand who that product was for when it was released. I felt like I was one of the few people that was like, I know who this is for. It's not for the whiskey enthusiast. The Travelers is for people new to whiskey. That's, you're capturing multiple sources. You're capturing a Chris Stapleton fan. You're capturing Buffalo Trace fans. The bottle looked cool. It had the map of Kentucky on the inside. I thought, or Tennessee, I'm sorry. Or maybe it was Kentucky. I can't remember. I can't see it from here. But I also have my bottle signed. Buffalo Trace sent me one with a signed bottle from Harlan Wheatley, so I thought that was a cool. So I won't drink it. I have a different opened up one that I don't even look at. So, but not for me. It's not meant for me either. David said I had this whiskey from Prohibition days. I found it at my grandfather's basement when he passed. No brand name. It taste was amazing. I'm sure Canadian whiskey back in the day was probably incredible. If it's just regular whiskey, again, a Dusty from way back in the day, I'm sure it's something super unique. Lopez says, I call it BS. This guy drinks all the fruity, sweet stuff. Not really. Like, I buy it. I'll try it. And then, like, if it's summertime, like, granted, I'll drink some sweet stuff. I don't like drinking, like if the bourbon's sweet, I'm cool with that. I don't like mixing sugary drinks that often because it just leads to bad hangovers. Like, even the sodas I drink are just no sugar, or zeros or whatever they're called. And I don't drink those that often. Oh, David says not Canadian. It was made in the U.S. Hell yeah, that sounds awesome. I'd love to find some of my grandpa's whiskey just stashed away. A couple old bottles of Wild Turkey or something would be incredible. All right, we're gonna move that one over, and I'm gonna grab a new Glen, and we're gonna break into something a little bit more affordable. A little Jack Daniel's Bonded Rye. Now, a lot of people tell me to get this one. And I was always like, well, why would I buy this one when I can just get this one? The price difference pretty drastic. This one I got on sale for $24.99. I think the normal price is closer to like $32. At least that's what the little sticker said. So maybe it's normally like $24, and I just thought I was getting a deal. This one obviously closer to like $75, but the proof is up there at 133.5 proof. Lopez says, "Where are the homies IROC and Tux?" I don't know. Making out on a date somewhere. Sickle says, "Do you know how to play the skin?" Oh, I know how to play it, baby. Well, good, David. I'm glad. That's kind of cool too. Like find something with grandpa's that you can enjoy. I think that's pretty fun. Now I did crack this open the other night. I couldn't wait. I was also looking for a Jack Rye because I typically that's what I drink when I watch the Florida Panthers game. It's always a good time. So I couldn't find one of those. That's why I just got that one today. And I got this one earlier in the week. Anyways, so we'll dive into this one as well. Kind of give you a quick breakdown. I don't know all the fancy, what do you want to call it? The fancy notes. Or not the notes, like the mash bill and all that kind of stuff. I don't know that for this one. He plays it with no hands like a pro. Hey, some people are born with skill. I just, you know what I mean? I got it. Oh, you mean this one? Yeah, hell yeah. Kuja says my dad got some dusty bottles from one of his friends, and one was a Beam white label from the 90s. That butterscotch bomb. Hell yeah. Oh, we got Raph back in the chat. Guess who's back again. There we go. I played it. I got you. The Heritage Fuego. I liked it. It's over there. We're gonna circle back. We're just gonna keep it moving for now. But this one in particular, I thought it was a little bit different, right? Because this one, the single barrel proof, is spicy, right? Got a little bit of herb, got a little bit of mint, not too much sweetness. It's more like leaning into the spice. This one was a little bit different. Now this one is obviously just 100 proof. It's bonded. But I thought this one had a little bit more sweetness than I was anticipating for a Jack. On the nose, it definitely gives you more like, I don't know, like fresh green apples, right? Not like candy, like, you know, like if you just bit into like a green apple, got a little whiff. That's what it smells like. That and whiskey. It's like green apples, a little bit of spice, and like a little bit of vanilla on the nose. Now for the palate, kind of it's similar, but the apples kind of go away. On the palate, it kind of moves more towards like those like Fiji pears, right? Vanilla, a little bit of caramel. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. It just doesn't remind me of that one. So I like it. It's a good rye. It doesn't have near as enough spice. This one drinks right at maybe a little less than 100 proof, but it's not bad. It's just not what I was expecting for a Jack Rye, to be honest. It's good. I like it. Nothing wrong with it, but I was expecting a little bit more herbal, more mint, more spice, right? A little bit more rye, I guess you could say. One who bounds. Said fancy Jack. We got some Jack. We got all types of Jack. We got the Heritage over here that we just got done with. We got single barrel proof, bonded rye, and then Old 7. That bonded rye is 7 years old. Well, that plays a factor. Also, the mash bill, I'm sure, is different. I like the triple mash. I already finished the triple mash. The bottle's over there, but the triple mash was so good, but it very much was very fruit forward. Now, that one was blended with Tennessee whiskey, a malt, and a rye. Very well combined. It had spice, it had fruit, a lot of red fruit, creamberries feel into it. But this one, it's still sweet. It's still got a little bit of that fruit, a little bit of spice. I think it's well balanced for like 20 something bucks. Maybe let's call it 30 for fun. I think it's good, worth a pickup for sure. It's not overly expensive. Um, but my original thinking with this bottle was, can it replace this one? Like, can it not completely, but can it come close? If it did, I would have bought more. I would have bought like multiple, but it didn't. Raph says, I think we underappreciate the bonded rye because the barrel proof is so good and different. That's kind of part of it, but also like Jack has so many good products out there in general that when you release something like this one, it's so good that like you're like, okay, well the price difference can be justified. Now granted, you can buy two of these for the price of one of those, but I'm okay with it. I would still go that way. But it's good. I like it. I just don't think like personally like I like just how I look for like the best bourbon to put in an old fashioned. I'm still looking for the best rye to put in a whiskey ginger. I have not found anything that comes close to this bottle, and that's not the right way to drink it. That's the way I want to drink it. That's not the only way I drink it, but it's one of the ways I do like to drink that bottle. Bonded old fashioned? No, not the rye. The triple mash was phenomenal in an old fashioned though. I'm not really big on like rye old fashions. Not like as much as I am for like I like my old fashions sweeter. Um, I'm sure you could. I'm sure this wouldn't actually be that bad because it doesn't have a ton of the spice. Maybe give you a little bit on the edge there. Fuck you, got. I see where you're going with it. You're baiting me into making an old fashioned with it. My whole system just tweaked out for a second. Let's move this up here. Very strange. Anyways, what are you guys sipping on? Enough about me. What about you? Um, did I bring the glass in here? Yeah, I did. Let me grab it real quick so then we can talk about some old number 7. So you guys hear me talk about the holiday gift sets all the time because I think they're fun. They're just a good time. But Jack was going for like $12, $13, something weird, something really low. And then they have these gift sets where it comes with the old number 7. What we doing, camera? Figure it out. Came with a old number 7 and a Jack Daniels glass. I thought that was cool as hell. Now, the glass is a little thick, but for a highball glass, you know what I mean? Can't really go wrong with it. It's free, basically. You're buying the same price bottle, just a little gift set. So I couldn't pass that up. You know what I mean? I saw it sitting there. I go, we're getting that for sure. It's going in the cart. So I actually got this from Walmart. But I have seen almost every liquor store I went into in the past couple days start putting out their gift sets where it's a bottle and a Glen or a bottle and whatever combination. I'm still going to say one of my favorites gift sets is going to be the Elijah Craig with a jigger and the old fashioned syrup. So they come with, if you buy the rye, you'll get the rye syrup. If you get the bourbon, you're going to get the black walnut syrup. Those two are still top because those syrups are expensive and it's the same price as the bottle. So you can't go wrong there. I'm interested to see what companies like Still Austin do, what New Riff does, all like those crafts, because they started getting into it last year. It'll be fun to see what they come out with this year, because I think a lot of them think, hey, we got to one up the big brands. But Bullet's out there with their typical metal cup. They actually have like a cocktail spoon too, which was kind of cool. I saw Heaven Hill with a Glen. That was one I almost bought, but if I buy another Heaven Hill bottle and bond, while I still have one, it's got to be one of the new single barrels. So I had to pass. Bro, what's up with the camera? What's happening? Did I forget to pay the camera bill? All right, let's fix that before I punch the camera or something. Yep. Anyways, so that was my quick talk on Jack 7. That and in reality, it's a great mixer. You know, mix with a little Coke, can't go wrong. I didn't even realize it was 80 proof. I thought Jack was like 90. Sleeping under a rock, but again, still nostalgic, still worth it. It's cheap, why not? If you don't have Jack on the shelf, what are we doing? And then to kind of wrap up the this segment, you'd say, is going to be the Jack Daniel's single barrel proof rye. I talked about this in multiple videos. I think it's one of the best value bottles you can get, especially for under $100. The proof coming in above 133, fantastic. It's just well made product. And as much as it says it's a single barrel, I'm guessing it's coming from one barrel, not just super unique. They were both, every one that I've had has been super similar. Really great product in general. It's literally one of my favorite bottles this year when it comes to ryes and bourbons. It's like I don't typically buy the more expensive bottles back to back that quick, just because what I mean, I got so much I need to drink here anyway. But this one was not like I had to. You know what I mean? It was like not getting past me. I was like, yeah, let's get that. Now, granted, I'd probably last a lot longer if I didn't put it in my whiskey gingers, but I really like them. Mixed with those fever trees, ginger ale, they're money. So let's go back to the Jack Daniel's Heritage Barrel. Pour up a little pour here, and talk about this one again. Let me get some water. Overall, this thing's Fat Corn. What a name. Says it's 99 here in New York. Want to try it, but there's so much to try. $99 for the Heritage Barrel? That's a little tough. If you're talking about the rye, again, it's a little tough too, but I'm saying pull the trigger. That the rye's worth it. The Heritage Barrel, typically MSRP is right at like $70. I'm okay with the $70. I really wouldn't go too much higher than that. Again, they're supposed to be shelfers, so if somebody is selling it for secondary, it should level out. But New York's crazy with prices in general. So yeah, the rye is worth $100. Just buy it. I just drank my other one. I could pull up all my Jack Daniels over there. I just finished off like a handful. I finished off the single barrel proof whiskey, the Jack Daniel's triple mash, and the single barrel proof rye. There's one other, isn't there? I finished off my Buffalo Trace too, unfortunately. But I drank all those, and I was like, I'm going to replace all of those fairly quick. I just drank them too much. Raf says, off topic, have you had any of the Peerless Distilling single barrels? Just got the most recent drop called Cherry Bomb Chef's Kiss. That sounds good. No, I have not had. I mean, I may have tried them in store, like trying a single barrel, but I don't have any. The only Peerless I have right now is the Double Oak. Fantastic though. Proof Chaser says that is that rare character number 5 release behind you? If so, how much is it? No. I have batch 1 for both the straight rye whiskey and the Kentucky straight whiskey for 2025. They're both fantastic though, but I can't keep up with the batches. I have batch 1 of each, the whiskey and the rye. I mean, granted, they're both fantastic. I think I like the rye more, but I drink the whiskey more. Weird dynamic there. And then I have a single barrel, like a store pick of a rare character as well. They all range around $100. Unfortunately, the new norm in whiskey right now feels like most bottles being released are releasing around $100, which kind of sucks. I'd much rather them be cheaper, but it's kind of like with anything. You just want to keep getting better and better whiskey. Unfortunately, that stuff costs more money to most brands. Not all the time, though. The one part that does kind of aggravate me about this bottle is the sticker placement's off. It's just slightly, like a couple centimeters too far to the side. That drives me nuts. You know, this is what I was gonna say is like that toasted reminds me of the Lucky Seven, but the Lucky Seven's 120 proof. So that may not be what I was thinking it was. Proof Chaser says we had a store doing a rye single barrel, 9 years, 7 months. I've about pulled the trigger. Most of the single barrels are good. Now mine's a 7-year, 4 months, 116 proof. I didn't do a lot of research on it. They said it's not, but I could promise you mine feels like an Amberana finish. It was very heavy cinnamon. It's good, right? I just didn't anticipate it to feel like an Amberana. So they just released another one. I just didn't buy it today. I saw it. I think it's rye, but I was like, let me do more research first because I don't care for Amberana like that. Raph says the distillery's drops are so much more flavorful than the store picks, but I pay premium to get them muled to me. There you go, baby. Sometimes it's fun. I like distillery only releases. I just can't figure out how to get them, and I'm not going to pay some crazy price to get them muled to me. That kind of takes a little bit of the fun out of it. But we have been lucky enough that we've had brands send us some stuff every once in a blue moon. We got High West to send us 2 bottles. Those were good. Now we need to get Jack on board. Get them to sling over some of their new stuff. I'm not being picky. You know what I mean? I'm asking for too much. I get it. The rare character too. That'd be fun. I don't remember what the other one. You know what's also this isn't the same, but I tried this in the liquor store today as well. I don't think this is gonna pull up properly. There you go. It did. So this is called Firefighters Reserve. It's a bottle that's made with Kentucky bourbon, but aged in Oregon in the elevation for something like that. It's 92 proof. I believe he said 50, 55 bucks. Mash bill was something like an 80, 10, 10, like 80 corn, 10 malted barley, 10 rye. And it was good. It was sweet. It had a little chocolate note on it. But the part that I liked about it, because I don't know much other than that, that part of their proceeds goes towards helping firefighters get scanned for cancer and stuff like that. So I was like, that's cool. Bourbon with a purpose. I thought that was pretty fun. I didn't pick it up because I literally was already done. I was walking out of the store and he's like, hey, I missed you. Come here. And I was like, I'll drink. I'm always down. And then I tried it. I was actually surprised that I liked it. And it drank a little higher than the 92 proof. It had a little bite on it, but still pretty sweet. But yeah, that's new. I haven't done any research. I don't know much about them. People could hate them, but I tried it in the store. It was pretty good. So far. Last time I was there, I tried the Kyle Busch single barrel from Rebel. Did not like that. Didn't like that at all. That thing was thin. Just ethanol out the ass. So, sorry, Rebel. Anyways, what are y'all sipping on? A little cocktail night? Are we doing a little bourbon? You know what I mean? Like, what kind of plans we got here? This would be probably really good in an old fashioned, but like not like the typical way I make it, because then it'd be way too overly sweet. What did I make before? I made like a marshmallowy old fashioned. That thing was I think I used chocolate bitters and like maybe brown sugar. That little toast, little marshmallow toast on top. Pa says mainly Scotch and single malt drinker for years, but lately been getting into bourbon's pretty surprising. Might might been converted. That's what we do. You know what I mean? We just bringing you over to the dark side. I mean, I personally have not had many scotches in general that I've actually even liked. I don't think I've had one that I've liked. I've tried a couple. Nothing crazy expensive, like pretty much all like the budget stuff. I've had a couple random things I couldn't name if I tried, from people just giving me a quick little pour, being like, "Hey, try this." Didn't like it. It just might not be my thing, but I'm gonna keep trying a couple of them. I think what I'll have to do one day is just buy one of the more expensive ones to give it like a good shot, because maybe there is a drastic difference when it comes to Scotch and price. But I had the Macallan Sherry and the Double Oak. Didn't like those. I've had the Johnny Walkers. Didn't like those. Um, I can't remember the other one I just tried the other day. Fat Corn says Knob Creek 12. Cheers. Knob Creek 12 is probably one of the few Knob Creeks I actually like. I'm not. I mean, there's nothing wrong with like the 9. I have the 9, but I've had the 9 the entire channel, and I don't think I've touched it since the video. Like I've drank it a few random times, but it's not. It's just not really what I want to drink. We drank Knob Creek a lot when we first started getting into cocktails and stuff like that, because that's typically what a lot of the bars had at that time. It's not necessarily what I go towards now. It's not bad, just not my thing. The Knob Creek 12, though, somebody sent me in a sample one time when they were first getting popular, and I was like, I actually really like that one. Then I always see it in stores now, and I go, oh, I'll get it next time. And the next time I go, it's not there. So that'll teach me not to get it. The this was the one that's been on the top of my little hunting list lately. I haven't really been buying too much of the bourbon whiskey or any of that stuff lately. Just kind of waiting out for the holiday season. That's typically when a lot of the allocated stuff release. So trying to save up the money for all that kind of craziness. But but yeah, I was like, yeah, if I see this, I'll pick it up. Raph says, don't pay premium, but if you find an Eagle Rare, my favorite daily pour, but for more regular available, I try Evan Williams bonded or early times bonded. Eagle Rare is definitely a great pour, especially if you're just kind of getting into it. That's probably one of my more favorite go-tos. Evan Williams bonded, I don't like. Both of those aren't my thing. Or early times. I would probably go more. What would I go towards? I just made a whole video on this. I can't remember what I put in there anymore. But like Buffalo Trace is obviously in there. Eagle Rare would have been in there. A lot of the still Austin stuff would have been in there. I cannot remember. It was 20 off at my local. To see, that's the kind of stuff I like to find. I don't find all that stuff that often, but when I do, I'm like, hell yeah, those are good deals. Just like the Jack, I found it, discounted. The Jack Daniel's Bonded Rye, I found that basically, I think it was like $5 to $7 off, or maybe 10. I can't remember. But a good deal when you see it, you gotta get it. The Russell's 10-year is the one I find on sale all the time here. It's always marked down. There was another one that was marked down pretty heavily. I think it was the Angel, like an Angel's Envy. Something was marked down at a couple of the stores around here. I don't know if that's them just trying to clear out inventory for the new bottled and bond one, or what. But what else do we have Jack wise? Let's do a little Jack 10 now that we got You know, the whole squad out here. You know what I mean. Might as well. I do still need a 12. You know, I mean, I love a 14 too. Don't get me wrong, but I'll take a 12. I'm not picky. I think the Bourbon Barn in Gainesville is doing an allocated drop tomorrow morning. Ooh. It's like you buy their store pick, you get access to an allocated bottle basically at MSRP. I saw they had a 12 on there, but I hear those boys out there nowadays just camp out forever, you know. And that's typically one of the ones that go kind of early. I mean, that tobacco leather, baby. That's what's in there. Does that look off? Does that camera look off? Oh, I see what happened there. I see what happened. Anyways, let's pull up this one. Run a little Jack Daniels B-roll. Bro, I think I'm a little overly tired today. I literally grabbed the bottle going like, how long is this aged for? 10 years, obviously. Anyways, so I think, bro, she's yelling out there, ain't she? Fat Corn says the JD bottles are super cool. The glass, I get. I think Jack Daniels, the square bottles, those are cool. You know what I mean? I think they look good on the shelves. These got a little bit more like a little skinnier, a little taller, but they look good on the shelves. Even the tall ones, they got a little bit of, going on. But I'd much rather the short, stubby little guys. They just feel good when you're pouring it too. But some bottles you'll buy, they're horrible to pour it because you're dumping out the whole thing. What else did I find earlier? Well, that's not. Well, we won't talk about that one. Yeah, I don't know. Like as far as the Jack Heritage goes, though, at Costco they had it for 56, 69, and they had basically like 6 cases of it. So I mean, overall, I think it should be hitting the shelves, especially if it's hitting Costco like that. But I still think it's like from what I see people buying, I think it's still going to take a little bit for people to really kind of tone back on it. Just like the old fits, as it kind of gets out there, people kind of slowly kind of dial back, and it becomes a little bit easier to find. Once that happens, same thing with the price. Like if like Fat Corn, for example, is in New York, like if he's seeing it for somewhere around $100, you know what I mean? Like eventually it'll dip back. I wouldn't pay $100 though. I know you were talking about the rye, but just in case. Huh. Jason in the chat says the triple mash ain't bad for Jack. I love the triple mash. I just finished my bottle of triple mash. I think I would take. I don't know actually. I would probably go Jack Daniel single barrel proof rye, not including like the 10 or the 12 or the 14 or anything, but from stuff readily available, Jack Daniel's single barrel proof rye, then the barrel proof whiskey. I would probably take the Heritage slightly over that, but then the triple mash, and then like the bonded rye, all that kind of stuff. But the triple mash got this like red berries and cream vibe to it. Really good old fashioned as well. I just saw it for like $35, and I was like, I bet you will go on sale. So I'm gonna hold off. They had a shit ton of it. Paz was saying I was hoping to get some of that Jack 10. It finally hit Oz not long ago for the first time, but I wasn't lucky enough to snag one. That's depressing. The only way I was actually able to get this, because I typically don't pay secondary that often. Like, it's pretty rare because I like finding, like, part of the fun is finding it for me. But I had a store I was racking up a shit ton of points, and they had a 10 and a 12. And I just reached enough points to get it. So I was like, okay, next time I go in there, I'll get one of them. And I was going for the 12. The 12 was gone. I was like, all right, give me the 10. And I have not seen one since. So I'm glad I picked it up when I did. I believe it was like 85, $90, something like that. But yeah, it's been solid. The only downside is because it's so hard to find and people sell it for so much extra on secondary, I don't drink it as often because I'm like, let me try and savor the flavor here. But if I had a backup, I would crush this thing. It's only 97 proof. It drinks like it, but it's good. It's got a lot more leather and tobacco vibes than it does anything else, but it's still got a little bit of caramel vanilla sweetness to it, a little bit of oak. I have batch 3, so the last time I drank the Jack 10 on live, I think it was with Juan, I believe, and he had a batch 4, and we were comparing tasting notes, and it was drastically different. So I think the different batches play a factor too. I couldn't imagine what the bourbon scene looks like in Australia, but it's got to be brutal. Let's go back to this one. Okay, so batch 3 was 2025. Batch 3 is also the one that went into international markets. The other ones didn't. So if you were able to get one, I'm sure it would have been the one I'm drinking here. The Sinatra one, that bottle, I won't pick that up, but to me is just kind of crazy. I was looking to see if I could find the details on the 12, but let me get that out of here. Anyway, sorry. Let's put this back. Let's put her back. I haven't had the 13th colony in a while. I think I'm going to gravitate towards that now. We'll leave this up here for fun. Let's put this over. The PX has different releases too. What's PX? I'm living under a rock here, so. PX. There we go. There we go. Pa says online's the only way for me to at least chase bourbon, but there's a decent selection here. I think it's become a lot more popular. Oh, military base. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, the military bases get some of the super high proof Jack Daniels because they have I can't remember what it's called, the Heroes Edition or something like that. I hear those are fantastic. Every base I've seen though got different stuff, so I can't. I have no clue. Plus, I definitely think like bourbon in general has been getting more popular. So I imagine overseas it's being, a little more popular as well. So hopefully it just gets better and better for you. Let's do this one. All right, let's pour up the 13th colony. We'll switch it back while we drink this one. That way nobody gets confused on what I'm drinking. All right, so this one is 13th colony out of obviously the Georgia. It is cask strength coming in at 133.74 proof. A hot one, baby. It's a hot one. This one drinks way like this same proof as the Jack single barrel proof rye, but this one's got a lot more to it. This is the only bottle though that if somebody were to hand me a pour, I like, at least from my house, like I know exactly what it is every time. It's so dark, it's like motor oil. On top of that, bro, it is raining like crazy right now. ADHD. It also has like a super distinct like leather note on it. Like, I mean, it's good though. Like when I say leather, I don't mean like, oh, I'm about to drink a shoe, but you know what I mean? Maybe a good shoe. Can y'all hear the rain? I don't know if you could, but all right. Double O, man, that's a fantastic bottle. I'll be upset when that bottle goes, but Ralph says, dude, have you tried any of the rare character TKOs yet? They're the pink wax single barrels. If you find one, I encourage you to buy one. And if you don't like it, I will buy it from you. There was one. There was a TKO one, pink wax. Actually had like boxing gloves as the picture. And everybody in town around here was like, holy shit, you got to get this. It sold out so fast. I couldn't even find which stores had it before it was gone. Pretty devastating because that was like one of the first ones that were released around here. I wanted that thing like nobody's business. Unfortunately, I didn't get lucky enough. But it was like what 139 proof, something bizarre. It was high. But the F1 crowd drinks out of shoes. I'm not drinking out of shoe, no matter which way I'm watching. Williams just subscribed. William, welcome to the stream, baby. Happy Friday. Guys, if you're just not tuning in, if you're not subscribed, what are we doing? Subscribe. We do go live every Friday around 9:30 to 9:45 p.m. Eastern time. I just start flip-flopping it, whatever I feel is best, So most of the time it's 9:45 though. That and normally when we're on top of things, we release shorts and videos throughout the week. This past couple weeks, I've been taking a little bit of a break, but I'm kind of more just all the content I have planned is more geared towards like holidays and stuff like that. So I'm just kind of backlogging it at this point. That I haven't really bought too many things new. Obviously, we're doing first impressions tonight, but I've not gone to the store in I don't know how long. This one too. This is one of those bottles that, as it kind of like sits there, opens up a little bit, it just gets better and better. It almost feels like it slightly changes every time I drink it, but like for the better. It's a little bit more tamer. The oak isn't as punch you in like the top of the throat. This one's more of like it's sweeter, but just super unique. It's hard to describe this one because I'm like somebody's got to try it here. Fat Corn says thanks. This was fun. Night, everyone. Night. Appreciate you stopping by, and as always, I'll see you next time. Rap says they're delicious. I always get some sort of red berry / strawberry bubblegum note from them. There's a couple notes that I really gravitate towards. One's chocolate, right? If it has a chocolate note in it, that's good, obviously. Not like if it just tastes like shitty chocolate, that's different. But like the Woodford's has it. There's a handful of things that have it. I usually gravitate towards them. The other note is going to be like red berry / like red candy, like fruit roll-ups, gushers, that kind of stuff. Those notes are like, yes, give it to me. That and like mint. I'm a big fan of like mint notes in bourbon too. So that's typically why I gravitate towards the Jack Daniel's rye so much, because it has this nice little fresh mint note on the back end of the palate that it's almost there. Like once you're done drinking it, it's like a little mint in there, just a little fresher up. So those three notes would be like my favorite notes to find. They don't all have to be all at once, but if they were, hey, hook me up. All the rare characters I've had have been really good. You know what I mean? I can't really knock them yet. I haven't had like tons of what they've had. The single barrels are hard to judge because it's so like up and down, right? It depends on who's picking it. It depends on what kind of barrel it is. It's hard to keep up with that. I like their batch releases. They're just hard to get. So it's raining so hard out there. I almost feel like I have to say, like, if the stream just randomly cuts off, just know like we either lost power or something crazy happened. Well, all right, gents. This is what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and end this stream. And then I'm going to go take a quick little break, get some food. And then I'm a batch release. Hell yeah, I'm a batch release. One of a kind. I'm batch number... We're not going to go batch number 1. We're going to go batch like 3. You know what I mean? Like, they've had better releases, but I'm worth picking up. So... I'm going to end this stream. I'm going to go grab some food real quick. And then I'll come back and I'll do like a late night pour kind of thing here in like maybe like an hour or something like that. Maybe like 30 minutes. Not, who knows? I'll be back. Sorry, low blood sugar. I'm not faulting you, bud. I'm here for it. Maybe grab like a, what is it? The Jack Daniel's Blackberry. That thing's sweet. It tighten you right up. I'm not saying anybody go drink that. That'd be kind of crazy, but either way, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't already, drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and of course, I can't find my outro like every other time. Oh, found it. If you haven't already, like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the other side. Peace.